And then this little book, There's No Such Thing as a Dragon. It's a really simple little book by Jack Kent. And it's about this kid who wakes up one morning and finds a dragon on his bed. It's a small dragon. And then his mother tells him that dragons don't exist. And so he ignores it. And then it grows and it grows and it grows until it fills up the house. I really like the middle part where the dragon has got so big that it takes his mother all day to clean the house because she has to lift its tail up and climb in and out of windows to get from room to room. And I've been in houses like that where, where something, the existence of which people will not admit, fills the whole house so that there's nothing that can be done efficiently in the house. And that's an ancient story of the growth of chaos, with the dragon representing chaos. And the dragon sort of represents the ultimate predator, that's one way of thinking about it, or represents the danger that lurks beyond what we know, or it represents the danger in the territory we refuse to explore. And in partway through, Mr. Bixby, who's Billy's father, the child who sees the dragon, he comes home and his house is gone. The dragon's run off with it, and that actually happens to people quite often too. They come home and, there's a note there saying, "I'm leaving you," and, all the clothes are gone. And the person says, "Well, I never saw that coming." It's like, well, it's conceivable that's because you weren't paying enough attention. Anyways, at the end of the book, Billy finally convinces his parents that this dragon does exist, and so he pats it. He pays attention to it, and then it starts to shrink until it's kitten size. And so it ends with Billy saying, "I don't mind dragons this size," says Mother. "Why does it have to grow so big?" Why did it have to grow so big? And Billy says, "I'm not sure, but I think it just wanted to be noticed." So I read this book. I often read it to my class and explain what it means, but I read it to a bunch of U of T alumni who were all pensioners. So, and it was recorded. It's in a lecture called, I think it's called Fighting the Dragon Within, something like that. Anyways, it was quite fun reading a book written for 4-year-olds to people who were all over 65 and telling them what it meant. But, the dragon at the end is, everybody agrees to have it in the house, which means you can't get rid of uncertainty and trouble completely, but maybe you can keep it to a manageable size. And it's sort of like the idea of the snake in the Garden of Eden. In fact, it's exactly the same idea. And then it's very wise, the book, because it points out that if you pay attention to dragons, then they don't necessarily grow so big they'll eat you. So that's a good thing. So it's been a real fun little book.